What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? So we back again for another episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This season 6, episode 13, Holt-ing Court. So hopefully this is a quick review because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've just been bored with the past few episodes. Probably no, I ain't even gonna say the past few, but the majority of this season and we're episode 13 in. I hate that I do come on here and have to say that because I don't like my videos to be so negative filled, but that's just me being honest. I honestly don't know which direction this is going into. I just wish that we had some understanding as to why we keep revisiting these old storylines and how come we are not getting new ones. Like the storyline with Maurice, Kimmy, and Kyle. We left that storyline last week. We started the episode off this week because last week was a to be continued. And this episode ends again with a to be continued with once again this issue with Kyle and Kimmy that did not have to be brought up yet again. When it comes to this whole situation, and I'm going to tell you what it is. First of all, y'all, let me tell y'all something. All that smoking stuff that happened at the beginning of this week has really messed me up. So if you see me squinting or whatever, my eyes have not been... I already have issues with my eyes, and I don't know, the smoke or whatever the hell it was that was going on, my eyes have not been right ever since. Like depression, I don't know, but I'm gonna try to get through it, okay? And plus this light is irritating as well because of that. But anyway, so the episode picks up where it left off with this whole situation with Maurice and Kimmy, and I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. I do not care about any scenes with Maurice and Kimmy, especially when it's just Maurice. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Maurice don't respect that woman. I never thought it was possible, but Maurice literally for me made it so that he is the worst man. He is the worst person on this cast. Excuse me. Get my words together. He is the worst. He is the absolute worst. Yes, Martell cheated on Mel multiple times with the same person. Probably somebody else had a baby on her, being an asshole, being a spoiled brat. We saw what it is and what he's been doing, the revenge stuff and all that stuff that Carlos refuses to talk about or whatever. Hopefully he'll bring it up at the reunion, and he probably saving it for then. But that's one. Marceau with the way that he treat Tisha and being misogynistic, being that old way of thinking, and the women should be in the house, not really giving her respect as a woman and thinking that her place is in the home. And he's slowly coming around, slightly, okay? And truth be told, he hasn't even been bothering me this season. Martell really hasn't even been bothering me this season. But it is Maurice's season to just show his ass. The mask, the curtain, the veil is all removed, okay? Because at the beginning of this show, and I'm talking back from season 1, people like Kimmy and Maurice. We liked them as a couple because we thought out of all of the mess that was going on with Martell and Marceau and the way that they was treating their wives or potential ex-wife, we thought that Maurice was the only one that was out here really doing what he's supposed to do as a husband and being, having his stuff together. And some people was like, Ashley, it's always been there. It's always been there. And I said, you know what? Maybe I was just blind because I wasn't trying to see it because we were so blinded by the mess that was going on with Marceau and Martell. And so we put Maurice, or some of us, not all of us, because some of y'all saw it. Some of us put him to the background a little bit. And we was like, you're the only good one. Oh no. Last season, towards the end of season 4, season 5, and now this, we see clear as day who the heck Maurice is, okay? And that I understand that, you have some of these stars or whatever, or I should say reality personalities on these shows that want to give interviews and all that stuff. Sometimes that's great to promote the show or whatever, and then sometimes that is a bad thing, okay? Because all it takes is for you to say something that can get either misinterpreted or something that you truly mean, but that you should have probably never have said, to just have the narrative about you flip 100% around on your ass, okay? And how people to just look at you like you are such an evil, vile person. And that is how I'm looking at Maurice right about now, okay? Mind you, he was already on my shit list for a minute, but he is completely disgusting to me. And some people may say, oh, you're doing the most, but no, this is just how I feel. He is completely disgusting of a human being, of a husband to me, because first of all, you're a terrible father. Yes, you provide for your son. Yes, you know, you make sure he this and make sure he that, but you don't have that quality aspect with him. You don't know what goes on with him. You're not emotionally connected with him. That's why he can't even come to you. Instead of trying to understand why the boy is slacking off in certain areas, school, getting up, chores and all that stuff, you'll think that the solution is to be a drill sergeant and, you know, to wake him up at 5 o'clock and let us do this and do that. Baby, how about you just set some time apart and actually have a real ass conversation with him and make it so that you're inviting him to have a conversation with him so that he won't hold things in and look like a little sick puppy because his daddy don't understand him, or his daddy don't take the time out to actually listen to him and inquire how he is before he starts to drill sergeant him and to blame him for this and that. And I ain't got no kids. But I don't need to have kids. I don't need to be in a relationship. I don't need to be married to understand how you're supposed to treat people or how you should treat people. Because at the end of the day, your child is still a person. Yes, you are supposed to have authority over them. You are supposed to discipline them. They are supposed to listen to you. But you have to remember that they also are children and they are people who have feelings. And you need to understand and connect emotionally as well with them. And you do not do that. That's why when he had that conversation with his mom, he felt so comfortable talking to her. Because you can't do that. And besides, you want to say that she spoils him or coddles him or whatever. That's because, no, he has a better connection with his mother because the mother probably listens to him and know how to discipline him, and he listens to her because he has that respect. They have that mutual respect. He knows she's not his friend, but he loves her because that's his mother, and he knows that the mother could be a safe place. You are not a safe place for your son, and we can clearly see that. We can clearly see that. I would say Kimmy is more of a safe place than you. And then you get on this goddamn interview with Carlos King. And this clip, listen, I'm not finna give certain people views like that, but I saw the clip. It circulated on Twitter. It's been all over social media. And I really hope that you reevaluate yourself. But then again, you are a Scott's brother. And let's be clear. He's Maurice, or I should say Marceau's big brother. Okay? And I think Mark is his big brother. Their big brother. Y'all all act the same way. Different degrees. Different cloaks and daggers of it all, you know what I'm saying? And now it's time for your veil to come off and for people to see you for the fucked up nigga that you really are, okay? Because this is why I say at this point in time, you are worse than Marceau and Martell put the fuck together. And this is why. In that clip, and I don't need nobody to say, well, you didn't see the context and you ain't see what happened before or what was said after. I don't have to, because what he said in that clip did not need to come out. That is something that you keep in your motherfucking mind. You do not put no shit out there like that. No, in that clip of that interview that he did with Carlos King, that man literally said he needs sex. Not that he wants sex. He needs sex, as if it's equivalent. The way he said he needs it is as if it's equivalent to the air that he breathes, to the water that he needs to nourish his body. He can't function without it. He needs sex. And therefore, he finds it very admirable and brave of Kimmy to just sit there and take it and suffer through it. In this process, while she's going through her struggles with her health issues. Your wife, and the way that he said that was almost as if he thought he was going to get a pat on the fucking back from the majority of everyone and say, you know what, you a good man for doing that. You a good man. And you thought that that was going to make her look good too? No, it don't. Because what we're saying is, Kimmy, get the fuck out. Because, yes, we all have needs. But at the end of the day, you mean to tell me you can't put aside your needs to let your wife heal. Your wife sick with breast cancer. Your wife had to go through surgery. Your wife had to go through chemotherapy. Your wife had to go through radiation and losing her sex drive, losing her confidence in herself and all of this shit. And you up here thinking about yourself and your sexual needs. Bitch, God gave you 2 hands, and he gave us the people the ability to come up with the way to make sex toys. And I'm pretty sure you got a credit card, a debit card, a bank account, and you mean to tell me you can't get on the internet and buy you a sex toy or whatever? Get you a flashlight I should say. Get you one of them little things that y'all remember Deontay? Remember when Deontay had that little, get you one of them, okay? Listen. Because what you saying right about now, that ain't even right. And I was just like, that's disgusting. And then to say it so proudly, like, it's admirable that she suffered through it. I wouldn't even be able to get, and maybe it's because I'm a woman, I just wouldn't be able to get sexually aroused like that knowing my partner is suffering. Yeah, I probably want it, but I would never, because it's human nature. It's natural to want to have sex. It's natural to feel aroused for most people, okay? But at the end of the day, if you can't see that your partner is suffering and all that, yes, we know we have needs, we have wants or whatever, but sometimes it's okay to put that to the back burner until our partner is okay, especially in a situation where they are recovering and going through the process of cancer. Now, yes, I'm not saying that they ain't gonna ever want to have sex, because they do. But for you to put out there like, you need it, like she's suffering through it because she already said there's times that she don't want it, she just do it because she know that you need it. That is trash as fuck, okay? And everything he said up in that clip was trash as fuck, and he just disgusted me, and I just had to get that out. In the way that you gaslight. I thought Marceau was a gaslighter. No, Marceau ain't necessarily a gaslighter. He just know that his wife is dumb. That's just what it is. His wife is personally dumb. She may be book smart, and that's debatable, but personally, she's dumb, okay? Outside of that, but, and I hate to say it like that, but let's be real, it's Tisha. Anyway, so you're pushing for Kimmy and Kiowa to have this sit down, and one thing that I cannot stand is for a person to tell me how it is that I feel and why I'm upset, and oh no, you didn't get over it because you would. No, don't tell me no shit like that, especially if I'm telling you I don't have an issue, I don't have a problem. Why are you bringing it up? Why are you pushing this? And that's exactly what Maurice was doing. He is the one that's pushing this narrative that Kimmy is not over the situation between her and Kiowa. And at this point, she possibly isn't, but she's not making that a focal point. And you're the one harping on it. She's like, listen, we're in a good place. That's what I'm saying. They're in a somewhat of a good place, meaning that they're not going head to head at each other. We heard on the phone call when she said, yeah, you can discipline Munster and all this stuff. They were on the same page. Now you're trying to make it seem like they're not. And then he was like, not listening to her, and just said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make this call and set up a meeting for you and Kiowa to have. What? And it just irked me so much. Because then they do have this meeting, and, you got Kimmy sitting here thinking like, well, maybe I do still have an issue about the fact that, when the rumors came out saying that, I supposedly or allegedly interfered in y'all relationship and y'all marriage, and I was the crux and a cause for y'all to get a divorce because I was the side piece, and I never was the side piece. And I'm sitting here like, girl, who gives a shit? Maurice, who gives a shit, bitch? And I ain't calling Kimmy a bitch, I'm talking about him. Nigga, we are fucking how many years past this whole thing? And y'all still harping on that for a fucking storyline, because I really don't feel like there's an issue at this point. Because when Kiowa sat her ass down there, Kiowa was looking confused. And Kiowa, let me tell you something, girlfriend, you kind of lying too. Because when you sat down at that table and Kimmy said, well, you didn't do nothing to stop it, or you kind of put it, perpetuated it, the fact that, I was a side chick and I was the one that kind of messed up your relationship. And she was like, no, I didn't. I never implied or did that. I said, girl, do you remember when you was on like year 1 or season 1 or 2 or whatever reunion, and you was up there and you just really was not here for Kimmy, and you kind of put it, you didn't probably put it out there, but you was on that train. You was definitely on that train. Okay, let's not have amnesia now. But see, now because of that, you can see how issues can probably stir up again between Kimmy and Kyra when things weren't even that bad at that moment. And I said, see, for the sake of fucking, it pisses me off because we ain't even need to go here. Like, I'm all here for giving us some drama and being slightly messy, but when it makes sense and when it's entertaining and when it's not gonna drag on. Why are we revisiting stuff from early in the seasons? Okay, like, I just don't get that. And then it was a to be continued on that situation. Then we got this whole situation where what's her name? What's his name? Martell and Melody. Melody, you know, she did meet up with Kimmy and she did give her the little spa day. That was cute. We don't ever see, I ain't gonna say Maurice ain't doing nothing for Kimmy, but we don't ever see them going out or whatever on the show. That's neither here nor there. Okay, my whole thing is, you know, Melody had brought up the whole situation with the court situation and talking to Tisha about the Black Expo, because I think Kimmy brought that up. And she said, yeah, we had a little conversation. I respect the fact that she wasn't badgering me and trying to force me to do anything. And I already told him basically, in so many words, she ain't doing it. Because she ain't working nowhere near with Martell. That's the main reason. And I don't blame her. And she said, we're not even in a good place. Like, after all the stuff that went down between us, girl, no, I don't want to do nothing for y'all. Okay, that's basically what I heard, you know. And she's just trying to be nice with it, okay? Because she could have said, bitch, please, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, Kimmy said, the times that I do see y'all together where y'all in the same room, it's kind of cool to see that y'all can, you know, be in that place. And she said, girl, please, fuck all that. Because that nigga tried to take me to court. That nigga tried to take me to court and try to get full custody. And then we go over there, bitch. Let's just go there for a second, because I do not believe anything. The majority of the stuff that Martell says in general, I do not believe when it comes to the relationship between him and Mel, and when it comes to the custody situation between him and Melody as well. Because, you know, she went over there to Chris Fletcher and Nell's house, okay? And apparently it looks like, I don't know if Chris was Martell's friend first or whatever, or he were both him and Martell's, or I should say Martell and Melody's friend at the same time. But it seems to be that, you know, he's leaning more so, very much more so on Melody's side, because out of all of the men on this show, he's the main one that has been basically like, Martell, you need to chill the fuck out, okay? You really need to chill the fuck out. And he called him out on his stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I respect Chris for that purpose, that factor alone. So you got that. And they're in their feelings, you know, Nell and Chris, because they got subpoenaed to come to the court, and they had no idea that they had to come to the court and that this was going to happen. And Melody was upset at that because these are our friends. Why would you pull our friends? It's the fact. I mean, it been raining outside, so somebody really could have been hurt, so who knows? I'm going to give them a pass. But it's the fact that you're pulling our friends into this whole situation. Like, we got this mess going on, and you pulling our people in it, and then you don't even give them a heads up. And, I mean, I understand where she coming from, because, like Nell said, I don't like being subpoenaed for shit and not even knowing what it is that I'm doing. Like, why am I being pulled up into this mess, right? And then for Martell to get up in his feelings because, you know, you had to pull the family in, all the friends or whatever to talk. You had his mama, Mel got on the stand. His mama got on the stand. He got on the stand. Mark got on the stand. Marcus, I should say, which is Mel's brother. Chris, and I think Nell as well, right? And he had a problem with his mama because he wanted his mama to go hard. He wanted his mama to really stand up for him and all this shit. And he was disappointed. And the way that he was making it sound was, and what I'm interpreting it is, he wanted him, meaning Chris Fletcher, and he wanted his mama to get up on that stand and to basically perjure themselves and to lie and to go in on Melody to make her seem like the worst person in the world. And, you know, Chris was like, no, I'm not finna perjure myself. I'm not finna get in trouble for nothing. I'm finna tell the goddamn truth. It is what it is. You are an ass, and that's just what's going on. Chris even told Mel, he was like, we had a conversation. I had talked to him. Pause. A pair of my shoes is missing. Unless they around the corner. Where they at? That is so random. Like, the shoe rack is right in front of me, and I'm noticing, and I had them on the other day. Did I? No, I didn't have them on the other day. I had them on Thursday. Where the hell did I put them? I found them later. That's gonna bother me. I'm sorry, y'all. I got distracted real quick. But he was basically like, I told Martell to just drop it. This whole custody thing. And then for Martell to be sitting there with his mama talking about something, I just don't understand why she want to bring us to court. Why she want to bring us to court. Mel said, bitch, the reason why we in court is because his lawyer was trying to do so, basically because of him. Okay, they had a hearing for a protection hearing or whatever, and so that he wouldn't have to go up in there. They filed an immediate filing so that you know, he wouldn't have to go in there to the court. So that's how come the court case came on about the custody situation. And I just, you know, Melody talking about the judge, one of the judges, she was basically heavily on his side, and I do feel like it probably was some favoritism going on or something else, and that needs to be looked into, because she was like, you know, trying to say that Martell would be the better person. Martell is going to be the better person to do what when he can barely afford anything, because baby, they was talking about how the house that he in about to be sold. I said, damn. Okay, you got that situation going on, and then, you know, you acting oblivious as to the reason why y'all up in this situation. You in this situation because of you, okay? Because y'all being spoiled. You're acting like a spoiled, petty ass little bitch, and I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. At the end of the day, y'all should be able to have joint custody of them kids. Okay, and and Melody, if you really did say, well, you get them 6 months of the year and I get them 6 months, I'm pretty sure she probably was being sarcastic with him, and he just don't know the difference. Okay, because at the end of the day, you know, Martell will do anything and everything to make himself look like he's a good person and to try to put it out there that Mel is a terrible mother, just so he can look good in the light. And people are not buying it, baby. We are not stupid. Okay. I don't care what no court say, baby. We are not stupid, and we see right through the bullshit. All right, moving on from that. This whole situation with Kiki and Letitia. Kiki had came over there to this little photo shoot Letitia was doing for this little hair care line for the kids, you know, putting it in their names and all that stuff so they can be entrepreneurs, have a business and all that stuff. That was cute. Kiki showed up, and then Letitia had told her about her going to Mobile, Alabama to get the key to the city. My question is, how many goddamn keys are they mass producing to get to these people, to these cities? Because everybody and their mama got a key to a city, okay? And then some. And I'm like, damn, tomorrow I'm getting a key to a city, okay? Somebody give me a key to a city, all right? I know it can be done, okay? I don't understand what for, but hey, you know, that's an accomplishment. And truth be told, I don't understand how come we only saw like a 2-second or less than a minute clip of Letitia actually getting the key to the city or whatever, instead of actually showing that as a scene, you could have made that part. I would have loved to see it. As much as I be talking about how we ain't getting nothing new, that is something you could have put up there. Her and her process of, I mean, we had to suffer through the whole situation with, what's her name? Tiffany trying to find her daddy. They going down there, her Mel, that fake ass storyline, because we are... I'm sorry to sound insensitive, but it was fake as shit. But anyway, you up there trying to find your daddy because ain't nothing happened after that. But y'all, we went on a whole road trip about that. Y'all could have did the same thing with Letitia. That is some things. That is something of importance. That is some positive things. You know what I'm saying? We want positivity also within the mess, okay? And that was a positive thing. That was a good look. You know, we could have had the whole process of how it went down. You know, the whole little parts of the little ceremony, her receiving it and all that stuff. And don't don't say that, you couldn't do it because the cameras that wouldn't allow. I mean, you actually filmed something because you showed us. Unless somebody else filmed it on the iPhone, I don't know. That should have been a real scene instead of a little blurb just so she could get back at, Kiki, because Kiki did say that she was going to be able to make it, but then Kiki said that she not. So she had her show up at the hair salon to get, while she was getting her hair done and all that shit, just to cuss her out or to say basically, I know I can't trust you. You always be saying that you're going to do something, but you don't. And before that, now see, let me tell you something. Don't invite me somewhere and then, chit-chat with me, butter me up when you know you really got me there to cuss my ass out or to put me on Fun Street. No, go ahead and rip that Band-Aid off as soon as you see me. Bitch, what the fuck happened? That's what you say to me when you first see me, okay? Don't have me sit down and be like, hey, girl, what's going on? Girl, nothing. Let me ask you this. So, what's going on? She was like, girl, I've just been feeling a little sick or whatever, feeling a little down, all this stuff because, the medication that I'm on, it just be having me, I don't know if she said tired or sick or whatever. I don't know, but it's a sad effect, okay? And I see it. She was like, girl, what medication you talking about? She was like, the methadone. I said, methadone? Kiki, you still on methadone? Bitch, what was your drug problem going on? So this was recent, bitch? She was like, girl, listen. So, I've been on methadone for probably almost a year now. I said, almost a year? Now, not since they recorded this in 2022. And so 2021, you was on, So you mean to tell me the first time that we saw your ass on Love and Marriage Huntsville, you was still doing that stuff? Wow, Kiki. Wow, Kiki Linda. Oh, okay. At least you're doing something to get yourself together. She was talking about the rehab. Bitch, we could have seen that process. But then again, y'all probably would have been like, bitch, that's boring and all that shit. But hey, I would like to see it, And so you get that, Letitia acting concerned only for her to say, bitch, why you ain't come to Mobile? Okay, she said, listen, girl, I was trying to get down there, but I couldn't get no car. The car places won't give me no car. I ain't had nobody to drive me down there. And I said, excuse me. So, why is it that you couldn't get a car? I didn't hear fully what she said about the car that she couldn't get or whatever. You mean to tell me you couldn't borrow a family member's car or whatever? That's neither here nor there. Also, I just want to know how come you just couldn't ask Kiki and ask Letitia and drive down with her. You couldn't Greyhound it? Mega bus that bitch? She said, girl, you really weren't that important. That's just how I feel. Because I would have been like, I honestly, if I'm petty like that, I honestly would have said, well, you could have asked me. You didn't ask me. You could have asked so-and-so, and they probably could have did this, or you could have got a Greyhound bus ticket, and I would have reimbursed you because I would have said you could ride back with me if I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? There was situations where I just don't believe it, Kiki. Something else was going on. You had a way to get down there. If you really wanted to get down there, you would have made a way. Okay? I will never forget. I was going down to Atlanta. Was it Atlanta? Yes, it was Atlanta. And it was when we had the blackout. Okay? Number 2. And I was supposed to go down there with a friend, that I thought was my friend, and we had a falling out, so therefore my ride I just didn't know how I was going to get down there, and me and another friend, we was trying to figure out, how to get down there because we was going through all avenues trying to get some cars or whatever because we was going to drive down there, but unfortunately at the time, we weren't old enough to rent the cars out, so now we like, what the fuck we going to do, and I had to suck that shit up. I said, bitch, we going to get on the plane. Okay, because that's the whole thing. I was trying to avoid getting on the plane, but I said, fuck that. I'm finna get a plane ticket, and I'm finna get down there because I'm not finna let people down. There are ways to get to where you need to go on time, regardless. Okay, so Kiki, y'all up in Huntsville, and there's Mobile. I'm pretty sure it's not that far. I don't know how far it is, but bitch, it's still in the same goddamn state. And you could have made it. You could have made it. And so I ain't necessarily mad at Tisha for being mad, but if this is a pattern, I can understand. But Tisha was like, she was ready to cut that bitch out. And it just felt like Tisha was looking for a reason to say, I know it, bitch. I know it was too good to be true. Fuck you, bitch, and fuck your mama too. That's what she was looking for. But Kiki was like, I swear to God, next time I will be there. I'll do what you say, la. And I said, oh, okay. We'll see how that lasts because I don't think it lasts too long. I really don't. Next week, we're going to have a little confrontation between, or I ain't going to say a confrontation, but a little situation between Melanie and Stormy. We're going to see how that work out. Hopefully it gets better, whatever. But yeah, fuck Maurice. I spent like the first half of this video talking about it, because I swear if I ain't even mentioned it, bitch, I would have been done with this video. But I really had to get that out of my system, because Maurice just really disgusted the fuck out of me with that one. Ew. But you guys, let me know how you feel. Just to let you guys know, there is no Love and Hip Hop. There is no Real Housewives of Atlanta tomorrow because of the holiday. I'm about to go ahead and watch Love and Marriage Detroit and get into that new episode. And I will see you guys probably in the next video later on tonight. Peace.